podcast for people who actually like movies, and welcome to a quick non-spoiler review of Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. It is December 8th, and so it is about 2 weeks before the film hits theaters, but Amazon did a advanced showing for Prime members, and so I was able to check it out through that. Before I get started, let me tell you about the torture that I had to go through to see this movie. And before I do that, let me give you a little background. I saw Jumanji, the original Jumanji, in the theaters. Robin Williams is one of my favorite comedians, one of my favorite actors, and his loss was really devastating. And him being gone makes films like Jumanji even more important to me than they were to begin with, and they were already pretty important to me because I love the original film. So I was not looking forward to this movie. The trailers didn't help. Everything about this movie told me it's probably not going to be something I'm going to like. So I decided to go see it anyway. And before I got to see it, I had to watch 3 of the same trailers 3 times in a row. See, this is a Sony film, and Sony and Amazon put out this pre-screening. So the lights dimmed, and the first thing we got was Hotel Transylvania 3. Oh boy. Then we got Alpha, which is Benji but with cavemen. And then we got Peter the Rabbit, which looks like a Sony animation film. And then we got 2 very obscenely long Amazon commercials, because again it was put on by Amazon. And then we had Kevin Hart, Dwayne Johnson, and Jack Black introduce us to the movie, because I guess Karen Gillan couldn't be God for the introduction. And then the screen went black, and then Hotel Transylvania 3's trailer started up again. And then Alpha, and then Peter the Rabbit, and then Amazon. And before Dwayne and Kevin Hart could show back up, the screen went black again, and a guy came in and said, "We're having some issues, we're working on it, the film should start pretty soon." So we're all kind of sitting there. There's about 30 or 40 people in the stadium-size theater. Not the biggest one at our biggest AMC theater in Springfield, but a decent-sized screen. And then they started playing Hotel Transylvania again. The screen froze, so we got a nice 15-minute view of Adam Sandler as Dracula. And then a guy came in, I guess this was a different guy, and he probably was the one who drew the short straw. Because he came in and said, "Look, folks, I'm sorry to tell you, we're having a projector issue, and we're not going to be able to show the film tonight. However, the other theater in town," we actually have 3, but the other theater in town was showing it. They have paused their film, which tells me no one was there. And if you drive over there, we'll give you a pass, and you can go watch it there. It's only about 2 or 3 miles away, so it wasn't that far out of our way. But it is a much smaller, much crappier theater. But I think almost everyone from that showing went to the other theater because it was packed when we got there. It was a caravan of cars driving from one theater to the other. And then they came in, they said, "Okay." And you can actually, on the screen, the film was paused. And it looked like it was about 10, 15 minutes into the film. And they came in and said, "Okay, we're going to get the film going again. However, we're not entirely sure if we can start from the beginning. We're going to do our best." So at that point, everyone knew what was going to happen next. So the screen went black, and Hotel Transylvania 3 popped up again. And at this point, the crowd knew everything by heart, so we were reciting the Hotel Transylvania 3 trailer as it was going. And then Alpha popped up, and then Peter the Rabbit popped up, and then Amazon popped up, and then Amazon popped up, and then Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson popped up. And at this point, I looked at my clock, and it was 7:43. So the film was supposed to start 43 minutes prior. And then the screen went dark, and everyone held their breath, and the movie started. So again, I was biased against this movie to begin with, and then they didn't do any favors when they made me watch three crappy trailers 3 times each, and they made me drive to another theater. That being said, I liked the movie. Truly did. I think it'll never top the original, but it was funny. Had a good plot, good story. Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, as you would expect, make the film. They are very funny together. I really liked Central Intelligence up until the last act. Then it kind of fell apart. So these guys are continuing to be that kind of that duel that can really work well together. Karen Gillan was good. Her trying to do an American accent is interesting because she's very Scottish, but okay. But she does well in the role. I've never really been a huge fan of Jack Black, and Jack Black playing a transgendered woman in a man's body is interesting. He does okay, I guess. There are too many body jokes about a woman in Jack Black's body, and you can assume where that goes, and that's exactly where it goes, and it goes there several times. So that gets a little tedious and old. But again, the movie is fast-paced. There's a lot of good things going on. It's funny. I laughed out loud a couple times. It has a good message, and there's a couple times where you're thinking, "Oh God, they're going really into stereotype territory," and it's just gonna it just feels tedious. And then they turn it on its head a couple times, and they do a really good job of that. And everyone gets their moment. As you've seen from the trailers, these are kids in avatars in a video game, and I was also concerned about the video game aspect of it, but it makes sense. And in fact, another thing that I like about this film is it is a direct sequel, believe it or not, to the original. It's not a remake. The board game is in the movie, and it makes sense how they make it into a video game. It really does. I'm not entirely sure why an Atari has quasi PlayStation 1 controllers, but okay. And along with that, it understands. It understands that it is a film that owes itself not only to a book, but it owes itself to a film that's important to a lot of people. And there is a moment, and I won't spoil it because I was smiling when it happened, but there is an homage that it was good. It almost brought a tear to my eye, and I'm a geek, but it almost brought a tear to my eye when they did the homage. So that went well. And so again, I'm not doing a spoiler review here. We will do a full disclosure once the film comes out and more people have had a chance to see it, because unless you went to this pre-screening, you've still got 2 weeks before you can check it out. But that full disclosure will come out and we'll spoil the hell out of it. But again, I enjoyed it, and I shouldn't have. And the fact that I enjoyed it tells you that you probably should go check it out, because I think it's a good film. And I think it's fun. And I'll probably go again with my daughter, because I think she'll like it. It is definitely kid humor. So if you're going in looking for highbrow humor, you ain't going to find it. But if you go in looking for a fun time and you've got some kids to come along with you, the one kid who was sitting next to me, because it was a very packed theater, he was probably, I would say 8 or 9, and he was literally hunched forward in his seat the entire time, excited to see what was going to happen next. So kids are going to love this movie. And adults are going to get some stuff out of it too, and there's some good points. So I'll leave it at that. Be on the lookout. We at the front row are all going to be seeing Star Wars on Thursday night. So we will have a full disclosure soon after that for Star Wars, and then again we'll have a full disclosure for Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle when that comes out to wide release. And then I'm also doing a flashback to Jumanji, and so we're going to have a lot of good conversations about some really good films here over the course of the next month. So check everything out at thefrontrowmoviereviews.com. You can email us at thefrontrowmoviereviews@gmail.com, and please be sure to like and subscribe below, and click that notify button because this was a live broadcast, and we do quite a few different live broadcasts, and if you click that notify bell, you'll be told as soon as it goes live, so you can join the conversation while we record. Until then, have a good night, and I miss you, Robin. I miss you a lot. Have a good one. Don't know how to stop this. There it is.